Hey photographers, a few days ago, a viewer asked me for help as they were having trouble finding the video files that they'd recorded using a Sony a7 IV. Yeah, it's a problem, as Sony doesn't store video files in the same folder as stills like everyone else. And worse, hides them several layers deep in an inscrutable file system. Well, let me show you how to find them, but please stay with me as I demonstrate the simplest way to import video files into your video editor from a Sony camera and explain why Sony did this. I'll keep this one short as I find it's fairly straightforward. If you look at the folders and files on the camera's card, you'll see 4 folders in the root directory. DSIM, which in this case does not mean Data Center Infrastructure Management, but rather it refers to the Japanese Electronics Association's file storage rules for cameras. DSIM is an abbreviation for Digital Camera Images. That's an industry standard, and that folder contains the JPEG, HEF, and RAW files in one or more subfolders with up to 10,000 images in each. Then, there is a folder named M4 root. That's not a part of the DSIM specification. On the a7 IV, it contains 5 subfolders. Other Sony models have variations on this structure. Video files are sometimes in a folder called private. On the a7 IV, the clip folder contains the video files and their sidecar XMLs. The thumble folder contains JPEG thumbnails that represent each of the video files for display when playing back in camera. And if you turned on proxy recording, those files are in the subfolder. So that's where the files are. However, even on my fully up-to-date iMac, they won't play in the file system or even with the QuickTime player. And I would encourage you not to copy just the files, or copy the files directly. Now let me show you how to import the files with iMovie, Adobe Premiere, and Final Cut. So I'm a bit of a backup nerd. The first thing I do when I get back from a shoot is copy all of the card's folders to an external backup hard drive, usually with today's date. Now, once they're copied, I open the video editor, and let me demo iMovie first. Click on the import icon or use the menu's File Import Media option. Navigate to the folder or the external drive where you backed up the files, or if you didn't copy them, select the card and the video files will appear. Select and import the ones you want. Now, iMovie uses the XML files, both in the M4 root folder and the clip folder, to identify, parse, and import, and that makes it simple to find and import the video files you need for your project. Premiere Pro makes it slightly more complicated. Again, use import. Navigate to the backup folder, then down to the clip folder. The video files will appear in the import window. Select the files you want, then click the Import button. Final Cut is very similar to iMovie. File Import, and then find the folder. You don't have to navigate down. Final Cut does that for you. And in Final Cut, you'll also see the proxy files. They are 3 digits longer, S and 2 numbers. Now, if you want more info on how to use the proxy files, let me know in the comments. Now, I'm not familiar with other video editors, but I'm sure they're similarly simple. Copy the entire contents of the card, then point the editor's file import dialog to the folder, navigating down if you need. And let me add one last tip here, as recent model Sony cameras have added the ability to configure the names of video files. I find using the date feature and the custom name a huge improvement in finding and sorting video files. I hope that explains things and helps you find and import your video files. One thing I can't explain is why Sony's kind of lazy. Many camera manufacturers label their cards when you format them in camera. Sony's cards are untitled when they should say Sony a7 IV. As I said, this video was suggested by a viewer question. Sony, Apple, Adobe did not suggest or pay me to post this. There's no corporate sponsor for this video. My sponsors are viewers who've decided to support this channel by becoming members. And thanks to my members, there are no ads, neither ones that I read or YouTube interruptions. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.